Ladies and gentlemen, Congressman Artur Davis.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 2010. 7 years ago, this is the place I stood when the voters in the 7th District gave me the privilege of speaking for them in the United States Congress. When I was a child in Montgomery, Alabama, I would have never dreamed that I would be blessed to serve so many people. And 7 years ago, I did not know where the path that started next to the railroad tracks in West Montgomery would take me. But I believed in a few simple things, then and now. I believed that while government's not the answer to every problem, when people are hurting, a good government will never stand on the sidelines and be indifferent. 7 years ago, I was in a campaign that was noted for its divisiveness, but I also believed then and now that we can find common ground despite all the things that separate us. I believed that I could practice my faith and still be a good Democrat. And I believed that work and personal responsibility are neither Democratic values nor Republican values, but they're American values. And I believe that the poet was wrong when he said that the past is the light that shall guide our feet, because I believe that here in the state of Alabama, you can't judge our future by our past. Because there was a time in Alabama when we had never built a rocket. And now look at what we do at Redstone and Marshall and Huntsville. There was a time when we had never built a car in the state of Alabama. And now what we do in Montgomery and Vance and Lincoln is the envy of the world. And yes, there was a time, ladies and gentlemen, when what I am about to try to do was as inconceivable as the idea of a man from Kenya and a woman from Kansas finding each other and giving birth to an American president. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will always cherish the honor of having served a season of my life in the United States House of Representatives. But every path I have followed has always led me back home. So I am honored to stand before you today and to say that if God will bless my footsteps once again, I intend to be the next governor of the state of Alabama. I will not promise you that this path will be easy. But if you want to see a hard path, try being someone who works at the pulp mill facility in Weyerhaeuser in Wilcox County today. Because if you work at that facility, you learned about 4 o'clock yesterday that you no longer have a job. If you think a political campaign is hard, I want you to think about being a single mother who's a first-year school teacher in Tuscaloosa, who wonders every day if the principal will call you to the office and give you a pink slip and tell you that you're one of the costs that's being cut. If you think a political campaign is hard, then I want you to think about being another single mother whose child is sick and needs a vaccination and who can't get a free vaccination because budget woes have caused that program to be cut. Yes, this is hard, ladies and gentlemen, but all the people I've described, all the people who are hurting in this state need a governor who understands that we are facing an economic storm of a kind we have never seen, and a governor who realizes that what we have done the last 15 years in the state of Alabama is good, but it is not good enough to give us an economy competitive in the 21st century. And this is what I want to leave you with today. Whoever becomes governor in January 2011 has a very good chance to be the governor when we celebrate our bicentennial. 200 years, ladies and gentlemen. What we get to celebrate, what we make of the time that we've spent here, shall be determined in this campaign and the campaigns to come. Will we be a state in 2019 that is noted for our shared prosperity or for the walls that separate us from each other? Will we be a state that's known for the solutions that we found to the problems that plague education? Or will we be known more for the children who dropped out or the children who graduate and can't find jobs here? Will we be a state known for the new Constitution that we wrote that honored the values of a new century? Or will we be a state that continues to be known for the old ways of deception and political deceit? And finally, ladies and gentlemen, will we have learned what it's like to leave the South after all these years? Or will we still cling to the notion that progress cost us too much? So yes, this will be hard. But if we find our way, ladies and gentlemen, we can build a state that we have never known, not at some distant point called one day, but right now, in this season, beginning in 2010. May God bless the state of Alabama. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.